Cell Hotel by Timothy D. The nucleus. The function of the nucleus is that it regulates and controls the activities of the cell. It also carries your genes. The structure is that it's surrounded by a nuclear envelope that has nuclear pores in it. Inside the nucleus is also the nucleolus, which we will discuss in the next slide. It also contains chromatin and the nucleoplasm. Little disclaimer here: all the fun facts in this presentation are 100% made up. This fun fact is, if threatened, the nucleus will call his father, who works at Sony. The owner. I compare the nucleus to the owner of the hotel, and I compare the cell in general to a hotel. Using our hotel analogy, we can compare the nucleus to the owner. He runs the building, keeps all his workers in check, and if the owner's made enough money to get by, he can even buy another hotel, which I compare to mitosis, and this allows him to spread his brand or DNA. The nucleolus. You have three major components at play in the nucleolus. You got the fibrillar center, the dense fibrillar component, and the granular component. The function of the components is the FC is where the transcription of RDNA occurs. The DFC contains a protein that is important in rRNA processing called fibrillary. The GC also helps with ribosome assembly. Fun fact: the nucleolus is known for making good pancakes. The brain of the owner. I compare the nucleolus to the brain of the owner of the hotel. It helps with the synthesis of proteins, sort of like how our brain helps us with decision makings. Out of all my analogies, this is definitely the weakest. I couldn't think of much for this one. Sorry about that. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Its function is the synthesis of lipids. The cells with an excess of smooth endoplasmic reticulum, smooth ER, are the ones that secrete phospholipids and steroids. Structure. The tube-like structure that sometimes forms a branch that appears reticular, devoted to the storage of key enzymes. Fun fact: smooth ER is smooth, that was said by J.K. Rowling. The kitchen. I compare this to the kitchen. It is where the food, which use steroids and phospholipids, are made. These can later be distributed to the dining room or the room service, and I have more on that in the coming slides. Buff endoplasmic reticulum. Its function is that it makes proteins. Its structure is a series of connected sacs that appear flattened. Kind of looks like a labyrinth from Greek mythology. It has ribosomes on it, which give it that bumpy look that smooth ER does not have. Fun fact: the rough ER's brother, rougher ER, will beat you up and take your lunch money. The dining room. It's used in the translation of making new ribosomes and proteins. This is one of the places where the food, which I compare proteins, steroids, phospholipids, they can all go to. The other place that I compared it to, the room service, that'll be the next one. The Golgi Apparatus. Its function is that it packages proteins into vesicles. It plays a key role in the secretory pathway, also called the Golgi complex or the Golgi body. Its structure is that it is made up of a series of cisternae located near the nucleus and next to the endoplasmic reticulum. The Golgi Apparatus has starred in 3 movies: Through Cell and Back, The Organist, and Nightmare on Elm Street. I have a picture of that later. And I actually finally got this thing to load in PowerPoint, which is amazing. There it is. It's just Freddy Krueger with Golgi Apparatus on it. I like it. The room service. I compare the Golgi to room service. It's like a hotel room service where it packages and processes food for the guest to eat, which I compare all of that process as protein transcription. This gives the cell more proteins to use if they see fit, or the guest to eat their food. Mitochondria. The function is that it makes the cell's energy, which is stored as ATP. The structure is that it has an inner and outer membrane. It also has some DNA and ribosomes in it. Fun fact: this fun fact is not supported on your device. To find more information, please click here. I compare this to the electricity. Just like every other building in the modern age, your hotel will require electricity. The mitochondria gives the hotel, which again I compare to the cell as a whole, the energy that it needs to fulfill its functions. Chloroplast. Its function is that it is an organelle that is used in photosynthesis. It converts light energy into chemical energy. Structure. It has inner and outer membrane. In the stroma, they're a thylakoid membrane that have spaces in them. I thought they kind of looked like a bunch of Smarties, the candy, in a vertical stack. Just something to throw out there. Fact that is fun. Chloroplasts are weak to fire, ice, flying, bug, and poison types. 5 extra bonus points if you get that reference. The bar. The chloroplast is like the bar in the hotel. It converts the guest money, sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, into money for the hotel, which is oxygen and glucose in this case. The guests get drinks, oxygen, in exchange for money, CO2. So, kind of compared the little cycle that goes on between the two, like an exchange of money. Thought that was kind of smart. The vacuoles. They help plant cells maintain a water balance. They also give structural support. They store waste products for animal cells, and there's multiple of these in animal cells, but there's only one, I think, in plant cells, and it's a lot larger in plant cells. It takes up, it's like, I can't remember the exact percentage, sorry, maybe 70%. From the diagrams, that's what I'm getting at least. They are membrane-bound sacs or a single sac, and fun fact, they weigh on average 150 pounds. That is 100% true. The storage. In hotels, you need a place to store your extra supplies. This is done in the storage room. It can hold extra food, water, or other equipment. In the diagram, I included both of the two because I felt like it was kind of necessary for this one. And lysosomes, their function is that they break down excess or worn out cell parts. It's hypothesized that they also can be used to destroy invading bacteria and viruses. I couldn't find anything definitive on that though, but I wanted to put it in there. They contain digestive enzymes. There's multiple of these per cell in general. They're very small organelle. And the lysosome is no longer on speaking terms with its father due to a familiar dispute in '86. Neat. Plumbing. I compare these to plumbing. The plumbing is important to the guest's happiness. Without good plumbing, you'll have nowhere to put the waste and get that waste out of the hotel. I'm not going to say what waste is in this case. Plasma cell membrane. The function is that it protects the cell. It can also transport nutrients into the cell and harmful substances out of the cell. It's a semi-permeable phospholipid bilayer embedded with proteins. That was said by Willie T. on November 11th, 2020, 9 a.m. And I have a photo to prove I'm not making that quote up. And there it is. There's the photo. The wall, ceiling, and floors. Without an exterior, you wouldn't have any hotel at all. You just have a bunch of rooms next to each other. You can kind of think of the plasma membrane as a sort of bouncer who lets in what's in on the list and kicks out whoever's acting up, expelling harmful substances, but that didn't really fit with my hotel thing. And that's just about all I got. Thank you.